Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name's Ben Wilting, and I'm with the Amarillo Public Library. This is part 9 of our 13-part series designed to help you obtain citizenship in the United States. Today we will cover questions 74 through 87 for the civics portion of your citizenship test. All of today's questions cover American history. Stay tuned. Today, we will be discussing the importance of the American Civil War, as well as World War II. Okay, let's get started with Session 9. Today, we're going to be concluding our American history. We're going to cover everything from the Civil War to World War II. We're going to be covering questions 74 to 87. Again, the list of questions can be found in the description at amarillolibrary.org. These are the same questions that you'll see on uscis.gov. They're just in a little bit different order to help us teach them. So, okay, 74. Name the United States war between the North and the South. That war was the Civil War, or the war between the states. Civil War is the most common name for that war. If you hear it talked about, it is normally talked about as the Civil War. And on this slide, we can see which states were part of the Union and which states were part of the Confederacy, and which states were the border states. So number 73. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery, economic reasons, and states' rights. So the main reason that is talked about, and really the main reason behind the Civil War, was slavery. The southern states, the Confederate states, wanted to keep slavery, where the northern states wanted to abolish slavery. They wanted to do away with slavery in the United States. So, due to that disagreement, the southern states broke away from the United States, the Union, and formed a confederacy, a separate organization, and they tried to fight for their independence. During that war, the South lost, and then were re-assimilated back into the Union. Number 76. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Africans or people from Africa. They would sail to Africa, load people from Africa onto the ships, and then they would sail to America and then sell those people into slavery to work on farms and mostly agricultural plantations. Number 77. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? The first, freed the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. Second is he saved or preserved the Union. He kept the United States as one country. And third, he led the United States during the Civil War. Led the United States during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln is known as being one of our most famous presidents, one of the greatest presidents. He had the presidency during a time when the country was ripping itself apart, and he was able to keep it together and showed great leadership during that time. Number 78. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? It freed the slaves. It freed the slaves in the Confederacy. It freed the slaves in the Confederate States. It freed the slaves in most southern states. Number 79. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. The first one, citizens 18 and older can vote. You don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. Any citizen, women and men, can vote. And a male citizen of any race can vote. Again, you only have to know one of these, so pick whichever one stands out to you the most and go study that one and be prepared to answer that one on the test. Okay, so let's move on to number 80. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? 18 and older. They have to be 18 years old. Okay. This goes right in line with the previous question, so if you want to just remember 18 years and older for both of these questions, that's not a bad idea. Okay, number 81. What did Susan B. Anthony do? Fought for women's rights, fought for civil rights. Susan B. Anthony was extremely important to the women's suffrage movement, the movement that eventually led to women gaining the right to vote. Extremely important figure for that movement. Number 82. Who was the president during World War I? The answer, Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson. An interesting, very unique name, Woodrow. For some people, that's very hard to remember, so just make sure that that you study that one and really focus on learning his first name, Woodrow Wilson. Number 83. Who was the president during the Great Depression and World War II? Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt. Adolf Hitler was the leader of Germany during the Depression and World War II and was the cause of World War II. And the president during that time was Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt was another president who was greatly respected and thought of as one of our better presidents. During the time he was president, he was very well liked by the people in the United States. He was elected 4 terms. He died very early into his fourth term, after which they wrote an amendment that no president could serve more than 2. But he's a very well-liked president, and led the United States during the Depression and World War II. Number 84. Who did the United States fight during World War II? We fought Japan, Germany, and Italy. Japan, Germany, and Italy. For whatever reason, Japan and Germany are seen as the biggest of the Axis powers. However, Italy was also involved, an allied with Germany and Japan. And pictured here below, we see the leaders of these countries. Adolf Hitler, as I mentioned before, the leader of Germany at the time, Mussolini, the leader of Italy, and Hirohito, the leader of Germany, the Emperor of Germany, the Emperor of Japan during World War II. And here we see the pictures of the flags of the countries involved in World War II at the time. We have Great Britain, the United States, France, and Russia, the Soviet Union. On the left, those were the Allied powers. And then we have Germany, their Nazi flag, the Japanese flag, and the Italian flag on the right. And those were the Axis powers. Number 85. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? The answer, World War II. World War II. Below there we see a picture of gentlemen in the military in World War II. In the center there, circled, is a picture of Eisenhower. Number 86. During the Cold War, the main concern of the United States, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism. Communism. The spread of communism was the main concern. The Cold War took place from 1945, right after the World War II ended, to the 1990. The United States stood against the Soviet Union. It was democracy against communism, and the Cold War is largely defined by the nuclear arms race, where the Soviet Union and the United States were stockpiling nuclear weapons to use against each other if a war ever broke out, which it didn't. Number 87. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. You have several options: World War I, World War II being probably the most famous and certainly the most damaging war. The Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf War. Whichever one sticks out the most, study that one and be prepared to answer that on your test. If they're all the same, I would suggest either World War I or World War II. That was part number 9. Join us next time for part number 10, where we conclude our questions 88 to 100. See you next time.